Hello, my name is Andrew Rush, and this is my Physics 2211 Lab 4. With the introduction, the purpose of this experiment is to examine the motion of a spring mass system in which the mass swings in back and forth while oscillating up and down on the spring. Some models in fundamental physics used, there were actually a lot of formulas that were used. The force of gravity, the net force with the change in momentum, force of the spring, and net force when combined with gravity and the force of the spring. So more is the change in E system and all the different ways to write it, the change in kinetic energy, change in the spring energy, change in the gravitational energy, and so forth and so on. Some models and results. The experimental model used was the tracker program, and it was used to observe position versus time of the object. Our computational model, GlowScript, was used to construct a virtual model, and it predicted the position versus the time. The results produced, the computational model is relatively consistent with observed x values in the experimental model, but it is not consistent with observed y values in the experimental model. Here is the tracker video. That is the mass connected to the spring as it oscillates. So here is my coding that I used for the computational model. Um, the, the mass of the ball was set to 1, and its initial vector position and velocity, along with its spring constant, the relaxed length of the spring, and so forth and so on. Here's some more coding that I used for this experiment. So here's the video of the coding results. And it kind of follows the video as it's a mass connected to a spring, and it oscillates in that up and down kind of circular motion. So here's my change in energy graph with all the different delta changes in kinetic energy, gravity, and the overall change in energy, and also the spring potential. Here are the position versus time graphs, where the blue is my model and the red is the experiment. I have two graphs, the x position versus the time and the y position versus the time. Some discussion. So yes, the change in system's energy does seem to make sense. Adding the values of delta K, or the adding values of the change in kinetic energy, change in potential gravitational, and potential spring would give the change in energy values presented in the graph below, like I presented before. Some more discussion. After comparing the data from tracker for both the x and y positions, it is reasonable to conclude that the two make sense in the context of the experiment. So some possible error sources is, one could be issues with the code. There could have been variation with the initial conditions, or maybe some improper functions. In addition to that, maybe some tracker misinterpretation. It's not precise, it's not exact with its values and its point placement. So these could have led to some errors in this experiment. So that is all I have. Thank you for watching.